A few years later, in March 2002, you hear the worst news possible. Your brother Ben sadly died in a car accident. What are your memories of that day?
Yeah, that's I told you I didn't have a very good memory, but unfortunately, that's a day that I'll never forget. It was incredibly well. It wasn't sad because it was just a shock, and I didn't even believe when the words came out of my dad's mouth. I I just couldn't comprehend it. So it was a huge shock, and it's just something that changed my life forever. I think before that moment, probably that was only probably 5 or 6 years after I lost my best friend in a car accident as well. So, but before that moment when I lost my best friend, the worst thing that had ever happened to me in my life was that I probably had a couple of bad games of cricket or something like that. So, um, it was a period of time where I was very humbled by life, and it's changed me a lot. It's changed a lot about me. I think I used to take a lot for granted. I used to get worry about little things. But now I don't tend to worry about those things. I realize that life's about enjoying it and enjoying the people that you love around you.
The weeks after Ben's death must have been so difficult for you and your family. Did you allow yourself time to grieve, and how were you during this time?
Yeah, I did. I That's one thing I did. It was amazing because when it happened, so he died at probably I think it was midnight or just after midnight. And then my first phone call was back to my coach back in England, Keith Medlicott, and I rang him up and I told him what had happened. And um, I was meant to be flying back to England the next day to join the team. And I remember saying to him, "Oh, look, I'm not going to get on the flight to come back, but I'll probably come back on Monday." So I was still in shock. And I didn't come back for 3 months. So Surrey were brilliant at that time. Um, they just let me grieve. They let me do what I had to do. My daughter was born during that time. I had a lot on my plate. So yeah, so Surrey were amazing, and I still love Surrey to this day. I think they're the greatest first first class team in the world, and I'm just grateful to the time they gave me off to grieve.